corners, the most difficult wide receivers to rank for week one as we look at them here. Somebody that goes in the first round of nearly every draft that isn't Superflex, Stefon Diggs. He comes in as wide receiver 10 against the Jets, as he will see plenty of Sauce Gardner. The Jets don't move their corners, but he saw a lot of Sauce last year in 2 matchups. Terry McLaurin, who of course is dealing with a turf toe injury and is considered day-to-day. He comes in as wide receiver 28, although that matchup against Arizona, of course, is a juicy one. And then Michael Pittman there, Jay, at wide receiver 32 against Jacksonville. We just don't know a lot about what this Colts offense is going to want to do in week one.
No, we don't. And to me, Stefon Diggs is the most interesting one because you have to start Stefon Diggs. Everyone is starting Stefon Diggs in every league, but I thought one of the sneaky, most incredible things about last season was the second time the Bills played the Jets, the Bills were using Diggs as a decoy on Sauce Gardner. They were just like, we're just not throwing in Sauce's direction at all. We'll figure out the rest of the offense there. So, I mean, I guess for our purposes, it doesn't matter because you're starting Diggs. We should get more clarity on McLaurin as we get closer to game time. And then Michael Pittman, I think he's just the guy who you can be pretty comfortable starting as your flex, low-end wide receiver too. So, I mean, he's a guy I think for the most part you can be comfortable starting.
Barry, when you look at McLaurin, as that's a situation we are watching literally day to day, what is the range of the bump that Jahan Dotson gets in the rankings if McLaurin is unfortunately ruled out the situation? I'm not asking for an exact spot, but is it 5 spots higher, 10 spots higher, or am I crazy?
If I knew Terry McLaurin was not playing, Dotson is easy top 20 wide receiver this week with, top 15 upside. The concern here is with McLaurin specifically, right, is even if he plays, how much does he play? Is he on a limited snap count? By the way, the over-under in this game is 38. It's the lowest on the slate. And by the way, we don't expect, whether it's Josh Dobbs or Clayton Tune under center for the Cardinals, we don't expect them to come in and put up a lot of points. If Washington gets up big in the first half, do they say, hey, Terry, let's take it easy, even if he's not on a pitch count? Like, if they're winning big here, like, do they, so just in terms of, is he going to play? How much is he going to play? How much are the Commanders going to need to throw in a game that we think they should easily beat the Arizona Cardinals? At least I do. And you mentioned Stefon Diggs, right? The Jets also allowed passing touchdowns at the lowest rate last year. Now, obviously, everyone is starting Stefon Diggs, but it's certainly between that and Sauce Gardner makes you a little bit nervous as well. And we've got no idea what this Colts offense is going to look like. Specifically, how much are they going to pass? There's an in theory that when they do pass, it's going to go to Michael Pittman, but Michael Pittman wasn't Michael Pittman last year. And so, especially in his first game, in a game in which they're playing, I think, a pretty good Jaguars defense, you're a little bit nervous about Michael Pittman. The other one that wasn't mentioned there in terms of toughest to rank, similar to the Eagles' backfield, is the Baltimore wide receivers. Is it Zay Flowers? Is it Odell Beckham Jr.? Is it Rashad Bateman? They play the Ravens, right? And we don't know about the health of Mark Andrews. So if Mark Andrews is out, you'd think all of them – I'm sorry, they don't play the Ravens. They play the Texans. The Ravens play the Texans. So in theory, a pretty good matchup, but they could also just get up big and be running a lot in the second half. My expectation is that Todd Monken's going to want to show off this new offense. Lamar Jackson's going to want to get out there and really light it up. But one of those guys, I bet you one of those guys has a big game. The problem is trying to decipher from the preseason usage and everything we've heard, which one of those Ravens wide receivers ends up having a big game against the Texans. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and RotoWorld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from RotoWorld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.